right? The one that they fight at the end.
Hasatoma Sanamaya.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. We don't have the rights to this song. This is the Xbox episode. Episode 7. Is that how
Pre-rendered podcast.
All right, everybody. The day is finally here. Welcome back to Pre-rendered, episode 7, Xbox One discussion.
Explosions and
Bring the kids.
hot women and machine guns.
And dogs that you'll care about.
Yes. Dogs.
Sports TV. Today this is all going to be on the Xbox One release. We're gonna talk about just the press release itself. No details that happened afterwards. Then we're gonna be discussing the comparisons between this press release or press conference, and the PlayStation 4 press conference, and kind of compare those. And then afterwards, once all that's said, then we'll kind of go through some of the details, what we do know, what we don't know about the next Xbox One. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Is this the future, the next generation?
I'll go ahead, Wade. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, and I wrote this on my Facebook, if you love television and you love sports, Xbox One is the future. It is. Now, I'm personally not a fan of any of these extra applications and functionality and cool things they can do online, because honestly I could care less, and I don't really watch TV like that. And I do watch sports, but I'm not into like fantasy basketball or football or any of that stuff. So like, although I didn't care about any of it personally, it did look really cool. It was awesome technology. It was really impressive what they were able to pull off. And basically, if you didn't see it, it was with the Kinect and with the new Xbox One OS and interface. It allows you that you can instantly switch.
Yeah, it's like running like 3 operating systems. Apparently, that's what they said. It's like, it's running 3 operating systems, and it's from NASA and space, and it's space technology.
Yeah. But like, see, with that, he was basically like, he would look at the Kinect or look at the screen and be like, Xbox TV. So if you're playing a game, it's gonna go right to live TV, and like we'll pause your game, and then you can be like, Xbox movie, and then it will go to the movie that you were last watching, and then just different stuff like that, like being able to seamlessly
The voice
switch
commands.
Yeah, the seamlessly switch between what you're doing between voice commands, and that they were saying that this Kinect camera is only going to recognize your voice, and it's personal to you, and it knows when you're talking. So I guess if you're in a room with a bunch of people, it's not going to, flip out when everyone's telling it to do things. It's only going to do what you say.
Yeah, or it's not bogged down by like normal conversation. Let's say you're in like a more public setting, Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people use televisions, I don't know why, as just giant, alternated picture frames. So with a hooked up Xbox, that could be something that they use to play like a specific movie or something like that. And it would be nice to have it passively playing in the background without having the audience's actual conversation interrupt what's going on the screen.
Yeah, and so like some of the features would be like, let's say they use this. I'll just use the same thing. Let's say I'm watching Star Trek, the movie, on my Xbox One, and then George is gonna Skype call me, and he'll it will minimize the Star Trek movie that I'm watching, and then a separate screen will come up with the video of George talking to me, and we're gonna be like, oh hey man, Star Trek's a good movie, so let's Bing search the trailer for the new Star Trek movie, and then like it like goes into that. So like you can do all these cool interesting things and run all these applications at the same time. And like I mentioned with the sports, with the fantasy basketball and football, you could like watch
Yeah.
the game, and then LeBron scores a point, and then like if he's on your fantasy team, a little notification is gonna pop up, hey, LeBron has 20 points and 5 assists, and stuff like that. That's all cool. Me personally didn't care about it. Like the whole time he kept telling his Xbox to switch between music and movies, I was like, say Xbox games, because let's get to the games.
Yeah. What about you, Rico? What'd you think?
I
Overall.
was overall I'm not a very big Xbox fan, so this wasn't really I wasn't as excited for it as a lot of other people was.
Right.
But overall, I think it delivered pretty much almost exactly as I sort of would have expected it to. Right now the television market itself is like dying, and stuff is moving over onto the Netflix and Hulu and things like that, and even
Right.
big companies like HBO is actually finally starting to get into it. Also, with the Google Fiber that's popping up in places around the companies, and certain other companies trying to compete with them, they're seeing that with those places that have Google Fiber, they're seeing that the Netflix traffic is like it's skyrocketing in areas like those. So to see them transition to that is sort of understandable, and given the fact that they have a 500 gig hard drive, as you mentioned earlier, George, that's a ton of space.
Yeah.
So you can afford to put a lot on 500 gigs. So it's basically like it's the evolution of the Xbox into a more computer format is what it looks like to me.
And it seems like both of the systems are going to be like that. Like I was looking at the specs, and they're pretty much identical.
They're like high-end PCs, man.
Yeah, they're just they're going to be PCs, and they're starting to behave like PCs, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, I think overall, it was exactly what I expected that press conference to be, and I think we, as gamers, we wanted to see games. We wanted E3. That's what we wanted, and this is the same thing for the PS4 announcement. We wanted E3, and we didn't really get E3. We just got a press conference. I think we'll talk about Sony in a little bit, but they showed the system, they showed the interface, which was all cool or whatever. Let me ask you guys, what do you think about the way the system looks and the name? What do you think about the name first? Xbox One. Uno.
When you say it out loud, it sounds dumb, like Xbox One. But whenever I'm online and I read it, Xbox One, ONE, it seems okay. I don't know where it came from though. They had so many other options, and like the other rumors that we heard, like Xbox Infinity, sounded way better to me. Or just calling it Xbox, like take out the one and just
But
Xbox.
I think that's how they're gonna do it though. Like they're gonna make it so you just call it the Xbox, kind of like a iPad or something, or like an iPhone.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
was
you don't.
thinking.
I mean, people say the iPhone 5 because they want to to show you how many freaking dick hack points that they got. Like, yeah, check out my iPhone 5. This is what I got. I got the 5. What do you got? 4S. But
You
I
ain't
think they're
shit.
just kind of going. They're gonna stick with numbers, kind of like Windows 8, Windows 9. When they're gonna
Yeah.
make it simple.
I think if that is what they're going to do, then kudos to them. But for now, I think that naming convention is stupid. It's like first you started with Xbox, then you go to Xbox 360.
I thought 360 was a stupid name. I thought that
That's
was
a
the
stupid
dumbest.
leap in and of itself. I
Yeah,
don't even
it's
know
like,
what the
what
fuck
the
happened
hell
there,
were they
but it's like
thinking?
whatever. But it's easy to see. Just like okay, it's a revolution. It's a revolution, Xbox revolution. So we're just gonna call it 360. It's hip. I understand that. I'll let
Right.
that slide. But then after 360, you're gonna be I'm Xbox One. I'm like I'm sorry. The first Xbox is Xbox One.
No, but when the thing is, when you go to buy a game or whatever, and buy a third party game, and they ask you what system you want it for, you said either 360 or PlayStation. You didn't really say PS3, or I mean sometimes you would say PS3, but PlayStation, they would get the idea. They knew exactly what you're talking about. It's like, yeah, that he means PlayStation 3. I think that's what they're going to try to say. Instead of saying 360, they're just going to say Xbox or PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? That makes
Yeah. I
Yeah.
could see that. Just
like,
I
I think
mean,
they're trying to transition it so it's like more like PlayStation. PlayStation is PlayStation. Some people say PS4 or PS3, but it's yeah, whatever.
See, they missed the boat on that. PlayStation had that shit right. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
PlayStation 3.
I
We
don't know
got
what
it.
360 was. I don't know. Well, our number's bigger, so it must be better.
But I mean, there's always a reason behind it, right? Like, wasn't the 360 because of the, just the circle and the power button is like a circle and it lights
Really,
up?
that's why they named
It's
it. 'Cause
became
of the
their
power
calling
button?
card of death.
I don't. Yeah, they're calling card of death. But also, this Xbox One, isn't it because they're saying this is the all-in-one
Yeah,
console?
I'm
This is
pretty
the
sure
all-in-one
that's a number
entertainment
for it. It's the
system.
all-in-one. It's
Yeah, because they're going for way more than just games.
yeah.
And this reveal was evident of that they're really going towards TV and entertainment and everything else they can do. Like games was really in the background here, and like that's what I'm most disappointed about. But Microsoft did give us as advertised. Like they did say like, hey, this is not heavy on the games, and
Yeah,
E3 will
that's
be.
why I was just like, I mean, it was a press conference. I wasn't impressed and I wasn't unimpressed. It was
Yeah.
it
As
was
expected,
freaking
pretty
like
much.
I'm not I wasn't expecting to be just, hey, here, watch an hour of game trailers, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, hopefully that's how it is at
One
E3.
important thing I would like to see addressed is though is like a lot of people have brought up is like having the new Xbox now requires the Xbox Connect to be on at all times, and a lot of people have brought up the privacy concerns with having a camera in their room whenever the system's on, and then I was like, that's a pretty good concern. So I'm hoping that they address that in the upcoming press conference.
Right.
Well, from what I know, it does need to be connected, but technically, I mean, just turn it around and have it face your wall. You don't have to use it. It just
Yeah.
has to be plugged in.
I think people, I mean, that's a bullshit concern, because these people are probably the same people that fucking post everything in their life on Facebook. So they
But
can
that's
shut up.
different though. That's different because
it's
like,
different, but then it's not different. It's like our
Well,
privacy
is it
no longer
different?
exists. This
Is-
call
Shit.
right now is being
Shit.
listened to. I
Is
mean,
it
that doesn't make
different?
it okay.
it doesn't make it okay, but get over it.
I refuse. I refuse.
Is it different from like the webcam on your computer that's there all the time?
Oh yeah, you can. There's people can hack into people's webcams.
Right, and it's the same concern is pretty much what I bring up because I wear that one too, and I usually have my webcam not pointed at the room if I'm not
Why do
using
you
it
have a webcam? There you go.
because I like to jerk it online with strangers.
Oh,
Editing that out.
that escalated real fast.
That escalated quickly. Okay, so no, let's get
Just
back on
kidding,
topic.
guys.
So what do you guys think of the actual system, the way it looks? I mean,
It
it's
when
a
I
big
yeah.
system.
When
Like,
I first
what's his name?
saw
Jeff Keighley was standing next to it. I was like, this thing is bigger than Jeff Keighley.
when I first saw it, I had texted my friend. It looks like a VCR, and I was so happy that when I got online, everyone seemed to agree with me. Like it's a huge internet meme now that it looks like a Betamax / VCR.
You know what? I'm not gonna bash on the way it looks, because I mean it's big, but it's sleek. Like it looks like it's not an eyesore. Like the white Xbox, that was kind of an eyesore. The Wii, it's like this giant white thing is just kind of sitting on the thing, and it doesn't work with anything. I mean, I'm not into interior design or anything. I don't really care, but it looks nice.
That's
Like-
that's how I feel about it too.
Like I'm not gonna bring up the past or anything, but the PlayStation 3, I'm looking at it right now. That's an eyesore. That tank that I'm looking
That was
at,
a George Foreman grill.
that is, yeah. George
And the
Foreman.
with the weird front slope that prevented you from stacking anything on top of it.
Yeah.
which you probably
Yeah.
shouldn't do anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It has like the flaps in the front, and it's an ugly system. But I mean,
I'll tell you what was sleek though. That controller.
yeah, that
Ooh,
controller,
boy.
sexy.
That controller,
Flawless.
nice.
Oh, you're talking about the Xbox controller.
The
It was
Xbox
okay.
controller.
It was okay. It was
No,
alright.
it looks
Nah,
good. That
it
D-pad
was-
is looking nice. I
The
want to touch that.
D-pad got fixed, and just everything about it. I
I want to touch the D. That's what I want.
that's a controller right there.
And apparently, it's got like force feedback triggers. Apparently, I don't know what. I don't
What's that
even know
mean?
what that means.
Oh, I know what that means. So it like springs back when but the trigger actually springs back forward. So it doesn't like stick when you hold the trigger. You know how some of them it's like they clump in and it's weird.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I never
If you
really
say
like paid attention.
That's where I'm going with that.
And apparently, I remember they were interviewing about the controller, and it was like high definition rumble pack or something like that.
What does that even mean?
Bro, it's the future. It's the next.
It's
the
buzzwords.
next generation. Next.
What? High definition rumble pack? Well, give me that now. How much extra is that?
No, but that's the controller.
But I think it was nice that they showed the system, they showed it working with the Kinect. I mean, again, this could have been all smoke and mirrors, like, just a video playing and him just, pretending that he's doing his
That it was working.
doing his Tony Stark force powers,
That's what I'm excited about, man. I'm just excited about the Kinect as a piece of technology in and of itself. I care very little about its Xbox applications, but it's like it's
gaming applications.
It's home. Well, that's kind of the same convention, but it's like it's home applications and just general, just like the next level of upgrade for our UIs and interface interaction is pretty much like that's kind of where I see it going. In moving away from keyboards and mice to just having like an in the air interface, you know what I'm saying, to just be able to manipulate shit in there. That's kind of where I see the future of that kind of technology moving to, and I can't wait till this goes on the market and somebody in India or Cleveland or Ohio somewhere breaks open that system and does some retarded shit with it, especially at like MIT. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And it's good to see like it working, you know what I mean? Like kind of coming all together, because it gives you the visual and you can kind of see it in your house and how it will look, Meanwhile, the PlayStation 4 was, and we're gonna start comparing the two press conferences. Like the PlayStation 4, they didn't show anything. They just showed the controller and a share button on the controller.
Well, before we get there, George, you're forgetting the biggest thing that
they announced that wasn't even a game, which kind of made me squeal and
which
go.
is again related to the theme here of television.
Which was the Halo show, the Halo TV show. I don't know if it's directed or just produced by
Steven Spielberg.
Like the Halo Facebook page said it was directed by Steven Spielberg, but that sounds kind of
expensive,
wishful thinking. Like that's a bit much. Like he didn't even direct Band of Brothers or Pacific. But I'm going back now and I'm thinking about all the shows that he's kind of produced or whatever, and I'm seeing good things. I'm going back to cartoons now, like Animaniacs,
definitely,
and all that.
Animaniacs.
Yep, Pinky and the Brain, all those like huge WWE cartoons.
He's involved with all that.
Yeah,
Steven Spielberg created those shows, bro.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
all right, respect.
He's good. He's good. I have good faith in that show. I mean that was for the Halo fans. Like, I'm pretty sure they all like creamed their pants simultaneously. There was so much mess everywhere.
If it's anything like the ads, it will be awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even the web series, like the web series, it suffered from budget issues. Like you can see, like the effects weren't all there. Like some of the effects looked really cheesy, but it still looked good. Like it still looked like a legit. Like this, I can give this a pass and a nod.
Which also I would point out, this is for like a dedicated, like it's only like you can only watch it on Xbox One, right? Like this is not coming out on
that's
HBO.
officially confirmed. Yeah, I wish it was on HBO, but I don't know if it's official that it's going to be on Xbox One.
It seemed to me that it was.
Yeah, I think that's what they were giving the impression that you're only going to see this on Xbox One. If that's true, god damn it,
that'd be kind of lame.
I have to buy an Xbox.
I feel like that'll somewhat sort of shoot themselves in the foot. I think it'd be better if they gave some sort of promotion that, like, I don't know, maybe they got the first couple episodes early or something. I don't know.
Right.
If it was on like a station, there'd be more viewers, of course, than putting it on an Xbox One. But maybe it's a way to get people to buy Xbox One. So talking about the games that they actually did show and did announce, there was a bunch of EA Sports games that I know. I'm going to assume that most people listening to this podcast don't care about.
Don't assume that. Some people like their sports.
Well, I mean, they didn't even show anything. They showed a pre-rendered trailer of that stuff that looked terrible. It was like
Yeah,
a bad.
It looked
did
really
look pretty bad.
weird.
Yeah, it did look very bad. And you could tell that's not what the game's gonna look like. But
Yeah, because I was like, that's kind of a step back, son.
I'm not a big FIFA player, but I'm guessing FIFA fans that love that game. Apparently, there's like a feature that's only going to be on the Xbox One, and I can't for the life of me I can't remember what he said.
Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, they
I
didn't.
mean,
They weren't specific with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a feature that they've implemented before because like they kind of said it like we should know what it is. I was like, good for you.
Yes, I like
Ultimate
the excellent. I was looking forward to that this whole time.
If anybody knows what that is, please let us know. We greatly appreciate it. I mean, we could just search it, but that
Yeah,
No,
why?
who has time for that?
yeah.
And
But they did announce the 15. They said they're gonna have 15 exclusive titles and 8 of them which are gonna be
new IPs.
brand new IPs. Now
It's not bad.
this could be BS. I mean, not BS as in I believe they're gonna put out 15 new games, and they also said that it's gonna come within the first year of the release.
Oh, okay. That was gonna be my follow-up question. Awesome.
And again, I'm not holding them to that year.
Yeah, that's a big
Like,
number.
that's a big, 15 in a year. That's
Massive fucking number.
that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how many of these are going to be Kinect games, like Kinect only freaking.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that's what scares me. It's like, oh, that's awesome, but wait a minute, this could mean it could be, Kinectimals too. Freaking Skittles returns. Skittles back with a vengeance.
They
that-
did announce.
that worries me.
Yeah.
But I think a good thing that they did, which kind of got me excited, and because I'm a big fan of it, was Forza 5, right? Forza 5. They're on.
Yes.
Right?
5.
Shows how much of a fan I am. I don't even know.
We can keep up.
But they announced that it's going to be a release game, which is a big deal. Like it's coming out day one, Xbox One. Oh, you see what I did there? Which is a big deal to me, and I think Sony missed a big opportunity with that with Gran Turismo 6, in my opinion. Like, yeah, they would have less game sales, but they would have had more console sales.
Hell yeah, Gran
more
Turismo.
people jumping on board. I feel like right now people are scared of this next generation jump more than they, back then with, the HD. Back then the HD, that was the instant sell. HD alone, no matter how bad the games were, the graphics were amazing. This one, the graphics, I mean, these systems, the graphics are not as, the jump is not as big as
Yep,
last
they're hitting the
generation.
graphics ceiling.
But and when you're not putting those games out on the next system, people are going to just be like, why am I going to get the next system when I got all this here? And I think this is going to be a pretty low system sales.
Yeah, Gran Turismo is one of those games that you use to show off like the specs of your system, man.
Yeah.
And it's almost customary, as you say, to have Gran Turismo as like one of the launch titles of the new system. And they're kind of screwing the pooch on that one.
Yeah. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, and then we also saw, what was it, Call of Poopy,
Which had a laughably bad making of video before
Yeah,
they showed the trailer.
the making of video was bad. The trailer was bad. The visuals look like shiny, like HD last gen or this gen graphics. Like I was
Just
watching.
not impressive.
Yeah, I was watching. There was a comparison video on I think it was on GT or whatever, and they're comparing the Battlefield 4 footage and the Call of Duty footage, and I'm like, oh my god, this is bad. Like when you see them side to side, like they're showing like the jungle scene from the Call of Duty, and then they're showing like the forest scene from the Battlefield 4, and I was just like, you could see the significant difference.
We are forgetting one game that they did announce is Remedy's new game called Quantum Break. And once again, to coincide with the theme of TV here and TV shows, this game has like live action cutscenes. And for whatever reason,
I don't think
What?
I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
You're making, that's an assumption. Off that trailer, you're gonna assume that.
But I thought when the guy announced that he was kind of like, hey, and this game's kind of like a TV show, and then they showed
I think they were
it.
just saying that in regard, like they're trying to get the message of TV out, like. But I don't think that game is actually going to be like
No, I
a
don't. I'm not
TV
saying
show.
it's gonna be a TV show, but like the cut scenes are like live action.
I don't think so. I think that
You think it was just for the
you're
trailer?
inferring a bit much. I think that was just a trailer. It was a shitty trailer too, but I think
Yeah.
that was it's just a trailer.
But Remedy makes good games, so maybe that will come out good.
What other
I
games
would
have they made?
Max Payne and
Max
Alan
Payne
Wake.
and Alan Wake, yeah.
Okay.
Which, both are
Is
good.
Alan Wake the one with the rain, or is that the book guy?
That's the one, yeah, the guy with the flashlight and the ghosts and,
Flashlights.
and
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion. And
Real life.
Everybody
pretty sure he
knows.
has a vacuum cleaner.
Ghosts hate flashlight.
Yeah, they do. That's why I have the flashlight app on my phone just in case there's a ghost.
But besides, I was gonna say besides Quantum Break and the Halo TV show, there was light on surprising game announcements.
Yeah, and since we moving on to that, let's go to the PlayStation, comparing both of them. I think on the level of how good these press conferences were, they were both terrible. I thought they both sucked, in my opinion. I mean, everything was pretty much expected. I wasn't surprised by anything the only thing that surprised me on the PlayStation side was the Diablo announcement, which kind of really wasn't a surprise. It was a missed opportunity. Anyways, and then
Well, you were surprised that Blizzard was there, but then once they said Diablo 3,
Exactly.
your
it was
interest
like, oh my
tanked.
god! It was like Blizzard's here. What are they gonna announce? And Diablo 3. Oh, god damn it!
What did they say about Diablo?
Oh, it's coming out for the consoles. It's
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. That's the proper response. But I think they're both on the same level of crap, in my opinion. I'll tell you why. The Xbox, the good points of the Xbox was they showed the system, they showed the dashboard and stuff, and they kind of showed how it worked, and they gave you kind of like a visual on what you're getting with this system, which was all nice and stuff. But again, it had no games. Like there was no games, and they were pushing this TV shit in your face, like TV, dogs, TV, Battlefield. No, I mean Call of Duty, TV,
Ghost.
Halo TV, Ghosts. And then PlayStation 4 was like it was a lot longer, first of all, and then the bad things about PlayStation 4 was I thought the games were pretty much expected. Like I wasn't shocked or surprised about any of these, and if you really compare the games that were new at the things, like that were newly announced at the press conference, you're bringing it down to like maybe 3. It was Killzone, whatever. What was the game called?
Knack.
Oh, Knack and
Infamous.
And if you want to count that puppet game, whatever the hell that was, what was it?
No, that was stupid because that was just Media Molecule saying, "Hey, look what we can do."
Oh, okay. So that
It's
wasn't a game.
Stupid. Yeah, it wasn't
God.
anything.
All right. So those 3 games were announced. I know there was the
Oh wait, Jonathan Blow's new game.
indie game, but that was announced prior to that because they said that was going to come out for the PC as well.
Okay, that's called The Witness, I think.
Yeah, The Witness. Yeah. But yeah, there was only 3 games, and then everything else was old
Trailers.
like old trailers that we saw like a year ago, which really pissed me off about the PlayStation. I was like, oh wow, this is the Unreal thing that we saw already. Like they didn't even show the new Unreal footage that they came out with a little later.
Yeah.
You saw that trailer, right? The
Yeah.
the freaking
It's like-
ninja guy, Cyber Ninja dude. But these press conferences weren't. That's my whole point. These press conferences weren't that great. I think they were just kind of send a message. I would say Sony's message was well received and was better than Xbox's message. And I think Sony's was a little longer. They had a lot of like freaking people talking about the system and how great it was, but they didn't really say or show anything. If that makes sense. Like they're just like, it would be really great if the Sony PlayStation 4 can play our old games using Gaikai. And I don't know why I'm giving him an English accent. And,
he transformed into Peter Molyneux.
yeah. Oh no, I remember now. I'm sorry. They also announced the the car game. So if they have four games, two new
Oh, Drive Club.
Drive Club. Nobody
It's
cares.
so easy to forget that one.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys like Drive Club, but
No, I don't think there's anyone out there who likes
Both of
Drive
you.
Club.
I really like, except for the guy that was announcing it. He made that seem very erotic. I really like Oz. I want to touch him. But
But the we've talked about this before, but the absolute worst, and this might go down as like the worst announcement I've ever seen in my entire life, is when Square Enix comes out and is just like, "Hi, this is an announcement of an announcement that we're gonna announce something at E3."
after
Thank
we
you.
played this year-old footage.
Oh my goodness.
That was the absolute worst.
But guys, take our word for it. It's running on a PlayStation 4. You can't
Yeah.
see it, but it's running on there.
Yeah, but you know what? In essence, maybe it was beautiful because it was the perfect way to show how crappy Square Enix has become.
No, man, it's basically a last hail Mary. Hey guys, I'm still here. Don't forget me,
Don't forget.
please.
Please.
We'll be back. I mean, I'm not really ready now, but if you come back at E3, I promise I'll have something.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's just like E3 is the only real time we can judge these two systems, accurately. Like, this is one. That's when we'll know. These were just like small tastes. Microsoft had a really bad press conference. Sony, it was like meh. I think in E3, that's when we're gonna see the games. We're gonna see everything that these things have to offer. Hopefully, we'll get prices by then.
Yeah, man,
That's
that's
a
put
big-
up or shut up time.
That's a big deal. The price, how much is this Xbox gonna cost? Because it's coming with a
Kinect.
Kinect
Yeah.
in there, and the thing looks like a tank. It looks expensive.
And the specs on that are kind of well, given Moore's
Well,
law, I mean, a lot of stuff would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I just want to say I mostly agree with George, like on everything he said. I just give the Sony reveal a little tiny insy bitsy slight edge because to me
Oh, yeah,
the
definitely.
messaging
Yeah,
was
yeah,
better.
Yeah, I give Sony the message. They
Yeah.
it was an apology. First off, it was an apology for fucking up, which I respect them for that.
Lol.
They fucked up.
Yeah, they did,
That's
absolutely.
And and whoever tells me that they didn't fuck up, they fucked up with PS3. It's, during the launch, they fixed it during the end, but
Yeah, man, there's no way that you can consider redesigning your system, like what is it, like 4 times in almost 4 years, you cannot consider that a success.
yeah, and then and the price drops and the price changes.
Yeah,
and, all
and
that, and then
and every iteration loses more stuff.
yeah, it was just it was bad. The PlayStation 3 it had a rough time, and I think until the last few years, which I mean, again, the last few years, I guess. Wait, it's got to go a full 10, right? 3 more years to go, or something like that.
And that's kind of why I give a lot of credit to Nintendo, and that's why I don't really think that they're down and out yet. Because PS3, like we said, they did not have a very strong launch at all, and they still kind of made it out alive. So, and Nintendo, they've been, they've been very, very reliable since their inception. So we'll see how they recover from.
All right.
That is
Wii
true.
U.
That is true, but I'm worried about Wii U because I've read that $600 PS3 was still selling better than Wii U is now,
Damn.
which blows my mind. $600 PS3 to little old. How much is Wii U? $299 or $349? That's crazy. That's bad.
We're getting off topic a little bit. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we've talked enough about Nintendo. It's Xbox Day.
It is
Alright.
Xbox Day, but I mean, again, the comparisons they're both kind of crap. Like one had a big a lot of games shown, but a lot of them were old games. Like half of them were shit we've already seen. Like we saw. Did they show? I can't remember. Did they show Watch Dogs at the PS3?
I think they did show
They showed like
Watch
a
Dogs.
small demo, like with him like crashing cars with his phone.
They did show Watch Dogs.
He threw his phone in front of the car, and then the car exploded. And Watch Dogs. And then they had what was it? They had Bungie's thing, even though they revealed
Destiny.
they showed Destiny footage right before, which made me upset because I was like, why would you do that? Why would you steal the thunder from PlayStation's? They show like a vid doc like a day before the Sony event. It's like, we're gonna show all this at the Sony event, so have fun. And then there was
Sony.
freaking Square. Oh, and then they also showed that fake game that's not gonna look like that.
That fake
The basketball game?
that's not gonna look
No,
like that.
Call of Duty.
Oh, the
Capcom.
Dragon's Dogma.
Not Dragons. It was called the Pain or the what is it? I can't remember. What
It was.
called.
I thought it was like this is the sequel to Dragon's Dogma.
No, I don't know what it was. It was called the. Well, I had a.
It was the one with the dragon and the knights.
Yeah, and then Knights, and this game probably won't look this good. Honestly. Yeah, the game that was like a thing, and then they just like superimposed a HUD, like a shitty looking HUD on it. That one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the title. Oh my god.
But I mean, like, yeah, just for me personally, the messaging was better in
Yeah,
PlayStation,
definitely.
and I'm a
You know,
huge.
they showed games. And
Yeah.
I give them credit for that. They did what people wanted to see. Even though, in my opinion, I wasn't excited as
Yeah.
some people were. I mean, like Killzone. I don't think a lot of people were really.
I'm excited for
So-
Killzone.
Are you really?
Yes, I like Killzone, but I'm most excited for Infamous. I'm a huge Infamous fan. I'm just happy it's even still alive and even coming out with a new one.
What is he even doing in this one?
Well, it's
Or
not
did they
Coleman
not
Wrath.
reveal
It's
it?
a new
Oh,
character.
The new guy, and he's got fire and smoke. I can't remember his powers. I have the.
It's smoke.
You know, it shows how much I care. I have the new Game Informer for Infamous, PlayStation 4. I haven't even opened this.
You need to let me borrow that.
I don't think so. I just want to just kind of look at it. It's like, yeah, here's the magazine I'll never give a shit about. I'm just kidding.
Joe just wants to look at it with scorn.
Yeah.
At
No,
least look at it when you're on the toilet or something.
No, I don't think so.
You're
I'd rather sit in silence.
not even worth my time.
You're not even worth my shit. But yeah, let's go into details about what we heard after the Xbox One press conference, what we've heard about like the rumors, how it's going to work, and all that nonsense, all the stuff that they were trying to keep under wraps until later. I guess in like the representatives, they kind of spoke too soon about the always online and the apparently the used games. That's still to
Yeah.
be decided.
Yeah,
There's
I
so
don't
many
feel about
mixed signals and different stories coming from
So
different
apparently
places.
it was GameStop's president said that the Xbox One is going to play used games
Yeah, that he said
But-
that and PlayStation 4.
and PlayStation 4. However, that doesn't mean you don't have to pay
Yeah.
that. Online?
the pay for whatever the activation.
Yeah, because what it is with
Uh-huh.
Xbox One supposedly is that you buy your game and you're gonna put your game in and it installs it on your system. Like it's a mandatory install, and then when you install that game, it is linked to your profile, your
Your-
Xbox profile.
Xbox.
To- To put that on a different profile, there would be an activation fee.
Oh shit.
So it seems as if you go buy a used game from GameStop and you put it into your system, you're gonna have to pay that fee on top of you buying the used game.
Right.
I wonder how long.
what that entails is if that's how it's going to work, that means the system is always online, no matter what they say. That is an always online system because there's no other way that they're going to be able to track whether it's a
Register,
used
yeah,
game or
that's
not
very true.
unless you're online. It's the only way it can work.
Yeah, which I've read that they were saying you like it's like a weird always online. Again, everything I'm saying is not concrete, okay?
What is
But-
concrete is what like when you read it on I showed you the thing, the Xbox One
Yeah,
like,
off of
Q&A.
Xbox.com.
What it
yes.
said was it is not always an online system, but it does require an internet connection.
Yes.
What's
That's
the
it.
difference?
That's all you know. That's
It's
all
like,
you need to know.
We're gonna dance
it
around the
requires-
wording to confuse people.
Exactly. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's
so
like
yeah.
so yeah, you can lose internet connection for a little bit. I mean that's
and it
no
will
big
work,
deal.
but
yeah.
at some time you're gonna have to get back online.
What I think when I'm thinking about it now, what I think is you need your internet connection to verify
The game.
the game. And then I think it will play with no problem if the internet goes out or whatever, stuff like that. but I think you need the
But to, like,
verification.
initialize it off the disk, then it needs the active
Right,
the
like
line
when you buy a
information.
new game, I think. I mean, again, this is complete speculation, guys. This is not
Don't take
official.
this
We don't,
as
yeah,
word.
don't take this as what I think. The way it's going to work is you install your game, and when you're installing your game, you need to have your internet connection on, with your account and stuff like that. And then after that, I think you can play it without online turn on or whatever. It's linked to your account already, so when it reads the disc, it looks at your account and it knows that it has the code. So if you're bringing it to somebody else's thing and and playing on a different account, then it's not gonna read it.
Yeah, speaking of that, Major Nelson wrote a blog post, which just made things more confusing. I've never seen like someone dance around so many things before. But he was like, oh, he's like, for the record, if you want to take your Xbox One game to play at a friend's house, you'll be okay as long as you log into your Xbox account at your friend's house. So
Right.
he's saying there's ways around this if you just log in.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like when people were complaining about that, and I'm thinking, like I've logged in on my Xbox account on other people's Xboxes with no problem. I'm like see, the thing is, I'm a PC gamer, and I know you guys know, I say this all the time. I'm used to DRMs. And unfortunately, guys, you're gonna have to get used to this. This is what's gonna happen in the future if the if the system developers aren't gonna do it, the publishers will. And and you've already seen it with EA. EA turned theirs off. They stopped theirs though because they want to get in everybody's good side again. But
I think I have a theory.
Sony will if they're not doing it this time, they're doing it next time. And whatchamacallit does it too, I believe. Ubisoft, right?
Oh, Ubisoft.
I believe they do the online pass thing, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I buy most of my games on the PC, so I don't know
Yeah, there's been
I haven't looked at the consoles that much, lately since I got a decent.
I remember doing it for all the Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a part of gaming. As long as there's pirates, they're gonna try to find a way to stop it. And this is against pirates, and this is also against the used game market, which is definitely hurting the developers and publishers and all that stuff. I mean, I know we don't care about publishers too much, but we do care about developers. And when you buy a used game, that money's not going to the developers. It's going straight to GameStop. And if you're a human being and you have a soul, you don't like GameStop because GameStop is a big ripoff.
All right, I'm gonna go on the other side here. Okay, yes, this is the future, and yes, it is gonna happen, but it's that when it comes to console gaming, this is what people are used to. People are used to when you buy your game and it's a console game, you can take it over your friend's house. You can let your friend borrow it.
Of course.
You can do whatever you want with the thing that you bought.
But look at it. Look at it this way. You're already doing it with your PlayStation, and you barely even know it because you're doing it with all those downloads. Have you noticed that?
Correct.
You're doing it with those downloads. So you're already cheating the system. So you're good. All you got to do is now you just have to find trustworthy friends.
No, but I mean like, but besides that, I think console gamers are used to this. So when you change it, there's going to be
there's going to be a lot of it's going to be an uphill battle, and we're going to be kicking and screaming the entire way there. But we're gonna have to get used to it.
It is gonna happen. But what gets some people mad though is that they feel like it's taking away consumer rights. And it seems like video games are going down this road where you really don't own something, you just own the license to it. Right. And that gets people mad because, let's say my car or my computer, I bought it and I can resell it, but something like video games,
precisely,
you're not going to be able to resell. And in terms of GameStop, I don't hate them as much as some people do because I've read stuff and statistics. You have to also imagine that a lot of new game sales are made from people trading in things to get them. Right. There are numbers to prove that new games are bought almost all the time when you trade in used stuff. So It does help the gaming industry also. I don't think it's nearly as bad as publishers paint it.
But it's not as much though. We buy. I mean, I know I don't trade, and I don't trade in games that much, and
Hmm.
I used to, and then I just like regret it because I'm like, oh man, I really want to play that good game that I used to have,
Yeah.
and it's just like, ugh, that sucks. And I'm like looking at my library now, like my Xbox and my PlayStation 3 library. It's not a library at all. It's like 5 games. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm the same way. Like I used
It's
to have a
almost
bunch of Marvel games I wanted to play, and they're
yeah. It's almost
rated.
insulting. Like you would look at my things and you wouldn't even think I'm a gamer. Then again, all my games are on my PC, so it's.
You don't have to prove anything to us, George.
Yeah, I gotta prove it to the masses. I'll take a screenshot or not a screenshot. Look at me. I'm talking like I'm a PC. Take a photo
like
of
you're
my.
on the keyboard.
Yeah, but
But I was also gonna say that to me, used games took off because of their price. They are cheaper, all right. And I always
they're
thought,
cheaper when they're no longer relevant. I'll give you that.
yeah. But I
That's
mean, like even there's people out there that will look at it as $5 less for a brand new game. That's still $5 less to them, and that's why they'll get the used version. So to me, I always kind of thought these publishers want to fight it so hard. Why not just make competitive prices to compete with it? But no, they want to go the hard way because, of course,
But then it's
they're a
going to drop.
business.
Then you're not going to compete with them because they're going to go lower. It's not. They're not going to stay at 55 for a used game while a new game goes down to 50. These games are expensive to make, and
Very, yeah, very
It's-
true.
I guess,
it's
but
a difficult balancing act, but
Yeah.
I don't really think what they're doing now is sort of the best way, because it seems to it seems very malicious, man. Like they're just intent on continuously. It seems like a ripoff, essentially.
right. I mean, again, we have to deal with it. This
yeah,
is
it
we
is
can
coming.
fight as much as we want, but if we're going into a digital world.
Future.
Eventually we're not going to buy our games at the stores anymore. We're going to just download them all on our systems and our computers and stuff. I mean, like PC, I haven't bought a PC game live unless it's a collector's edition. Like I haven't bought a physical copy of a PC game in a long time.
Hmm.
The only ones I bought was like my Blizzard games, and that's because
And
I
those-
want the art book. If
Yeah,
I can
most
just buy the
games
art
now-
book, and I'll just. I mean, and the games are downloaded automatically.
Exactly.
Like I
Most of
don't
digital
even.
downloads.
Yeah, like I buy the game physically, and I don't even have to install it. It's already in my computer.
It's just the end of an era, or the beginning steps of ending an era. The thing that I'm most mad about this whole used games and connecting online, I just don't want to be forced to go online. That's my big thing. You do what you're gonna do about used games, because even though I don't like it, I will have to accept it. Just I don't want to be forced to go online personally.
Right.
I want to be able to just be offline and play whatever I want to play.
What I think they should have done was gone with the multiplayer aspect first. You know what I'm saying?
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
Like kind of like how the publishers do. They don't block off the entire game. They only block off the multiplayer if you want.
well,
if you're
maybe
gonna buy
that
it
just
used.
didn't work. Like maybe they tried it and it,
I think it still worked. Like people probably still bought it, or it just forced people to buy brand new games, which is what they want to do in the first place.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, which I was also going to bring up, this fee you have to pay to activate it if you have a used game or a friend's copy. How much you think it is? And if it's a lot, it completely will defeat the purpose of buying a used game because it's cheaper.
Right. I think I've heard again mixed results or mixed things on it. Like some people say it's about the equivalent of a game, like
Oh
just
my
buying the game.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
then some people think it's just going to be like a small fee, kind of like similar to the EA and the Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Dark.
If it's full MSRP, it will eliminate the whole point of getting a used game.
Right.
Wow.
But holy crap, we've talked a lot on
Yeah.
all of this.
And I feel like there's tons of stuff we haven't even
Yeah, there's still
dived
tons of
into.
stuff that we haven't even
Oh,
touched.
real quick, I thought this was funny. When Xbox One was announced, Sony stocks rised and GameStop stocks fell.
People thought it was that, but it wasn't. It was actually timing was a big thing. It was a huge coincidence because there was a lot of things shifting.
Oh, with the
in-
Sony one?
with the Sony, yeah, it was.
But the
it was
GameStop one's not a coincidence, right?
You mean the Microsoft?
No. GameStop stock fell.
Oh,
Like,
it was
it
GameStop.
dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony's went higher and GameStop's
No,
dropped.
the reason why it was Sony, it was because they were doing changes with their company or something like that, and that's what supposedly was the main thing that caused I read an article on it. I can't remember what
Okay.
happened. They're changing things around in the company itself, which caused the thing to bounce up. But
I believe.
yeah, I thought Microsoft dropped too.
Miracles.
I could be wrong.
And we didn't. Well, we basically just imagined any third-party game that you assumed was going to go to Xbox One did officially get announced for Xbox One, and me and George talked about this that Microsoft is saying that Rare has a classic IP that will be returning to Xbox One and will be announced at E3. Crossing our fingers for Killer Instinct.
I hope so. Probably that or Perfect Dark. I think either of the two need a. I mean, Perfect Dark for the 360 was bad. We can all admit, but
Terrible.
it was pretty terrible. But I think they need, and even if it's not Rare, they just need to use that IP. That's a good franchise. Like
Absolutely.
that has a great concept. There's sci-fi shooters, but there's not a lot of sci-fi shooters that are like I mean
No,
Halo. That's
fuck
about
that.
it.
There's enough shooters in general. I would like to see definitely Killer Instinct. There aren't enough fighting games out there. Really, the only people that make them is like Capcom is the only.
Yeah.
I mean, SNK makes them as well, but they're not as big
Relevant.
over here. Yeah. So I would definitely like to see a Killer Instinct because to get more people in the fighting game community, I think that could only be a benefit. I think
Right.
for the gamers as a whole.
I mean, but they have all these IPs that they have, and they're just kind of sitting on them. But we've already discussed this before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't really have an opinion on anything yet.
Until E3.
Until E3. And sorry for hyping this up beyond belief. I know this is
No, they were awesome pictures. Come on, it was. worth it.
yeah, but
It was. I don't think the effort was wasted at all.
Oh, okay. We did get some likes, so we'll give you that. And we made some interesting. By the way, since we're wrapping up the episode, I just want to thank you guys, the listeners, everybody, for just all the support. I mean, I've already said this on our the Facebook page and everything. I just want to thank you guys. All your feedback, all your comments, the little debates. Sean, I love having debates with you. It's awesome, and so don't take it too personal. And David, all you guys just like posting stuff, helping us out with some information, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciated, and just keep it coming, and let your friends know if you guys like it, and it helps us grow. The more we grow, the more content we give.
God damn it!
But yeah, thanks again for listening.
Yes, thank you so much for your support, everybody. Very much appreciated.
Wade, do you want anything to?
I love everyone, and I love the response, and it really keeps me going personally, and I'm sure it keeps all of you guys going, and we can grow together, and we can make this huge. And like I said on Facebook, I really do read everything you guys post. Like it doesn't go unnoticed ever.
We do read everything. And
Yeah.
I absolutely love that you guys put that much effort into actually, coming to us with stuff and taking the time to actually engage in conversations about gaming, because oftentimes this is something that we feel passionate about and we don't get the proper representation, and sort of this sort of stuff makes me really, really happy and shit.
It's and if you want, even get more involved, ask us questions, tell us things you want us to talk about. Yep. It's your show as much as it's ours.
Right, and we will take everything into consideration, and and if we can implement it, we will. I mean, I know somebody mentioned the videos thing. We're trying to work on that. We're trying to figure out legal issues.
Yeah, because YouTube hates us. Because we
YouTube-
did tell them. We did try
I
it
did
with Iron Man.
for the Iron Man thing. I used footage from the films, and not only the new one. I just used pretty much the trailers, everything that was given.
Yeah.
And they, as soon as I uploaded it, they instantly took it down. So yeah, it was like once I put it up, it's like, hey, no. No. I'm like, all right. So I'm not really sure. I got to figure out how that works, but it's until then, unfortunately, you're gonna just see my my silly promo pictures or
Your
whatever.
beautiful promo pictures.
Oh, you guys are so nice.
Gotta make our page look sexy, son.
But like us, subscribe, the whole deal. Tell your friends. Thanks again
Rate,
for joining us.
rate us, especially on iTunes. If you can rate us, that would be very, very helpful. Our searchability is dependent on the amount of ratings that we
And
have.
Same thing with YouTube. Is you know, even if you don't like it, I mean, please.
Well, even if you don't like it, you can also give it a rating as well, because just having it rated bumps us up.
Yeah.
But having better ratings obviously bumps us up even higher.
It puts us on the map. So when people search pre-rendered, it's not random pre-rendered. Anyways, so yeah, we will see you guys next week. I don't know what we're gonna talk about because we gotta wait. It's the dreaded wait.
Maybe there'll be even more concrete details on this used game business and Xbox.
Maybe we will
wish.
find out stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. You take it
Thanks
easy.
again.
Thanks again.
Bye.